So hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to replace your OEM halogen headlights with some new LED headlights that are compatible for this model that are just here. So I ordered them online. I can put the link to it. They deliver everywhere in Europe if you guys are interested. And it is a pretty straightforward process. So you just take the bumper off, the two headlights off, the two new headlights in, bumper back on again, and you're pretty much done. It's just plug and play, no coding. The first thing we need to do is to remove this grill that holds the cruise control radar also. So there are two T25 screws right here that just need to be unscrewed, and then we will unclip the grill. All we need to do now is pull the grill backwards. So normally it should just be like clips. So the top part first, removing like this. And then there are clips on the underside holding the grill together. So you really need to push it, to pull it backwards and not upwards like on the old Mark 7. On the facelift, this is backwards, like this. And there you removed it. So now all we need to do is to remove the radar. What I just like to do is to put this piece, if I take this off, is to take the grill and put it right here, as we don't need to move the car, so it can just rest right there. The next step is to come to your wheel arches, and we will need to remove here 3 Torx screws, one here, and one up here. Those are all T25, so you first need to unloosen these ones. So a little side note, I have a special tool that doesn't require me to move my tire, but if you need to, because you only have a screwdriver, all you need to do is to turn your wheel one side or the other side so you have better access. And apologies, I just found out there is actually a 4th one that needs to be removed. That's right next to the other one, so you have 2 ones at the top. This can be done a bit later, but I like to do it now. So what you need to do is remove actually your fog lights if you have halogen fog lights, because otherwise they will come with your bumper when you remove it. There you go. So it's really just pushing onto this part and sliding it down. So we will now do the same thing on the other side. It's literally just repeating the same task, but on the underside. The next step, we only have 2 T25 screws here, so I need to unscrew these one too. So the next step will be a bit more difficult for me to show, as my car is not raised up very high right now. But actually there are just 10 T25 screws, I think, that need to be removed. So you have one here, you have one a bit more farther here, then you have a few here, so you will need to feel where they are. You can see them right there. There are 2 in the middle actually normally, but I will try to put a picture of the underside of the car with some arrows for you to see. So you need to unscrew all of these screws, and then normally we can just remove the bumper. After everything is unscrewed, the last part is to unclip the sides of the bumper. So this is now removed, and as you can see, we put actually masking tape here. This is because often when you pull back this part, these clips tend to go back onto your paint and they can scratch it. So as a preventive measure, we put some masking tape over here. And we do the same on the other side. There you go. As you can see, this one came back, so if there was no masking tape, we would have damaged the paint. The next step, now that we have unclipped the sides, is really to just remove the bumper. So we have some clips here that will be a pain point to remove, but once these are like lifted from their socket, you can literally just slide the bumper off. I do recommend to do this with 2 persons, as if you do it alone you might drop one side or the other of the bumper. To help you remove and unclip these, I recommend using a plastic tool. Do not use anything sharp or metal, as you might break off the clips, as I have already done here, but use this plastic tool to remove the clips so you can slide it out. Hier van de grill was
ook bij de andere gedaan.
So a clip has appeared here that I had forgotten, so do not forget to remove this one also. You can do it while the other person holds the bumper, so just remove this one and then you can actually remove the bumper. So the next step once the bumper is removed is to remove first this arm. So there will be 3 screws. You have one here, and one back there. These are all 3 T30 screws. Once you're done, you can do the same thing on the other side like we did. Now we only need to remove the last 3 screws that are holding together the headlight, which is first this one here. We have one way down there. I don't know if you can see it right next to my finger, way down there. And the last one is right here at the underside. All T30 normally. So normally all the screws are out now. All you need to do is remove the clip here. So just push back on the small clip here and then remove the connector. Okay, and then just watch out, we cannot remove the headlight yet, as there is a small clip holding on to the headlight. So you need to actually slide this backwards. Like this. And all we need to do now, all that is left to do, is normally to just gently slide out the headlight. What we can now do is slide on the new headlight. So once we have slid on the headlight, we can go back, and we started by putting back this screw on, and we will then follow up with the other one. So it's basically the same step as when we removed the OEM one, but in the reverse order. So guys, now the headlight is installed. We have put the cable in. Don't forget to put in the cable. It is normal that the clip side will be on the other side, so just slide it in, and this is then done. And if we do the test, we can see that it now works. We will now do the same exact steps on the other side. So all the screws out, headlight out, new headlight in, and all the screws back in. And we will fast forward this step as it is pretty much the same. So we have now successfully installed the 2 sides. So what we will need to do now is to put the bumper back onto the car. I can unfortunately not record this part as we need 2 people to put the bumper back on. But when you put it back on, don't forget to put in the connector for your proximity sensors. So to put this one on first, and then you can clip on the bumper. Quickly jumping in from the editing booth, just to tell you guys that I added this time-lapse fast forward going part to show you guys the reality that it is to put back such a bumper. It's really not easy and straightforward, and I don't like it when you see YouTube tutorials where it goes all smooth and quick. I want you to show the real part of this, that this is not easy. I will explain in the next clip what happened and why we were so slow to put the bumper back on, but so that you see that there's also this part of reality where it's really hard to put back on this bumper if you do not have a lot of experience with cars. Okay, so we put the bumper back on. I'll tell you, even with two-person, this is really frustrating. You really need to watch out on the alignment of the clips first. You need to let it hang on the clips, then put the clips in, and then work your way onto the sides. On the underside of the car, you really need to watch out that the alignment is correct and that this part of the car is over your bumper. Otherwise, you won't have enough room to put it back on. And afterwards, you need to push it in, align it, and then with your fist really push it in, and you will hear satisfying clips. Sorry that I couldn't find any more, couldn't provide any better images, but this is a really hard step. So let's move on now with putting everything back on. So now we will start by screwing everything back in. So first of all, we have these two T25 screws that we will screw back in. So now you have your 8 T25 screws to put back under the car again. Just put it back in the same holes like this one that you did in the beginning. So first step back is to go and get your connector for your fog lights, and that you put it back. Normally it's just as easy as there you go. Okay, so now that this cover is back on, all we need to do is put back our T25 screws here. So 1, 2, and 3, 4. So just like when we remove the bumper. We repeat the same process, of course, at the other side. So fog light back in, cover on, and the forced T25 screws, and then we can head over to the last step. So once you have put the screws on the wheel arches back, you have put your fog lights back. The last step is then to put your grille back on. So you just need to slide it on again and then put the two T25 screws back on. Toch? Ja. En deze hierop. Okay. Okay, so it's now clipped on, and all we need to do is put the two T25 screws back in. So this is what it looks like right now. So it's all done on the two sides. So you can enjoy your new headlights right now. So I will quickly show you how it lights up. Here you go.